we are done with our little side quest excursion, so let's go back to the main quest. A boy's errand. Oh no, another errand. If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you're both back. Excellent, Varshan. I have a message for you, Mistress Nidana. It would seem the stores of Giant Skull are running low. What? But when I last looked, there were still plenty. As expected was before Ranger told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estinian shared his knowledge of dragons, your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain, but we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the Giant Skull? In case you're not familiar, Giant Skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. The quarry where it's found, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take too much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Yeah, of course. Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zainuha. He will furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. As it happens, I have an errand on my own that will take me to the outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of hamster, Mistress Nidana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I'll bring the hamster to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. A new mount? I'll take new mounts. Give me all the new mounts. Oh, I wanted to turn down the music again. I forgot about that. I'd had that up during my intermission break. Honest alchemist. Okay. It's a dodo. Okay. Here are our hamster, Laverne. If the creatures look familiar, it is because they are close kin to your Eorzean dodos. Hamster have long been kept as livestock in Thathnir, and many hatchery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us first make for the outpost. We set forth at your words. Sure, let's go. You are ready? Then let us depart. You need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead for yours to follow. Mount the hamster and travel to the outpost? Let's go. Oh my god. Let us be off. If you haven't ridden dodos before, be warned that they have a wobbling gait. Yes. Yes, they do. Okay. That spectral formation stretching out over the water is called Kada, a word which means sword. The sword, legend told, was wielded by the Manusia against Mirga before it was cast down at conflict's end. To the left, and requiring no introduction, is the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small isle. Almost there, though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. We've seen it already in our little travels around the area, of course. I like that we are not getting attacked by the enemies here. That's cool. The Hamsa Hatchery. And I also like this part here where we are actually getting ferried across the area, basically. Gives people a moment to de-stress, I guess. Though it would be nice if you could... I mean, I guess you can just skip the cutscene. And here we are, manned by the Radiant Host. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Well, well, who should it be but young Varshan? On an errand for the satrap? I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for this boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for children. Your predecessors too often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring. Like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may now be, I am certain he is well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering. But still, I worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you, dear? Do you hear? I will, Nabdeen. Thank you. And who might this be? Not Hanish by the look of him. Permit me to introduce Laverne Taubane, one of the Eorzean contingent, come to assist in the making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what is the situation like? Well, may I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. An excellent idea, given the unprecedented nature of the threat. Some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You two, bring Varshan the latest report and answer any questions he may have. Alright. Let's start with you. It occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace on the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats, such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we've struggled to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they come in force, we had to pay a heavy price. What of the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. Well, I mean, I'm here after a call from outside for aid. Hello? Imhudi. Ah, I've read about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophoroi? We know that they are the ones behind the tower, and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This we don't understand. Oh well, just bring about the end of the world. What? They want to die and take everyone with them? What madness is this? Well, you can bet we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. Good boy. You wish to know about that tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zod, as folk have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Naranir. We are safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? We don't not go near it? Our struggles are not unique. Then sorry for that. Our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they are ready. Boom, boom, boom. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Razat Han ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, the stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. And amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, you had best see to your original errand. As mine will keep me here a while longer, however, I'm afraid I cannot guide you to the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamsa, you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. Though the Hamsa appears to want to return home, it reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with the Radiant Beastkeeper at Hamsa Hatchery to mount it again. Mount the Hamsa? Sure. I wish it could fly, but whatever. I hope that I don't have to take this. I am going to, just because of the story. I cut the corner here a little bit, it's fine. Don't worry about it, game. Right. Maintenance has been completed for the Firmament and Domin Enclave. That is good and well. And here we go. Oh, was too late. No sooner do you arrive at your destination than the hamster dashes off. Yoink. Okay. Zainua. Aye, this is indeed the giant skull grounds, and I am Zayuna. Zainua, sorry. Is there something you require? Yes. Or. Giant skull for the alchemists, you say? But of course they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the towers, and there's the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Also, tipping the scale. Here you are, a sack of the purest giant skull. We always set some aside for our alchemist friends. Okay. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the great work know that they are grateful, that we are grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. Okay. Just checking my notifications. I'm not going to run all the way back. I'm just going to teleport because, hello, so much faster. So far, a really slow start to the expansion. Ah, welcome back, Laverne. Dare I hope you have the giant skull? A hempen sack filled to the brim with chunks of the purest giant skull. Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype. One that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it is ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can. Okay. I wish it wasn't raining during this cutscene.
Taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
Aww.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts?
Wow.
Nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear.
They all know they're part of
Vengeance
suffering.
is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
You and me both, RNG.
Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
tea. Hello.
What is it? What did you see?
Daniel is watching.
Daniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
Then he's not going to do anything about it, apparently.
The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last!
Fortuitous timing.
Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments. We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
That sounds good.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place. To accompany me to the Tower of Zot.
What?
Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
I can do that, I guess. Oh, you needn't ask. I'm sorry.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example.
Fair enough.
But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Daniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Always will be.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
Okay. Curious. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna take the shore way. Full Petal Alchemist, perilous pickings, and of claw and goal. Ah, so much better. There's the boat. This is a rather finer boat than I expected, but I won't complain. That was close. All that remains is to board, to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind, and perhaps our only hope for toppling this tower. For all our sake, do not hesitate to do what must be done. Whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off. Alright, I'm gonna close the window real quick, hopefully without toppling over my green screen again. Be right back. Yay! I was able to do it. Perfect. Okay, and also let's stop the lights over there. They are not doing anything anymore. Head to the Tower of Zod with Nidana. Yes, please.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence.
Okay. Well, it's closer than expected.
Any moment now.
Ooh.
It's working!
Wonderful.
And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
Sure. There is a door. We could just go in and trash everything.
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance.
So far,
Few
so
more
good.
steps.
Oh no.
Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets.
Well, no. I'm all bit surprised that the door is open, by the way.
What?
That was to be expected, by the way. Ooh. Damn, that's a lot of them. Hey, Daniel.
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
Aww.
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid.
Just a little bit, though. Still.
The similarities are striking.
Hmm.
My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old.
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking.
Yes. So far, so good.
Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am.
Oh.
How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes?
Yeah, you could say that.
Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
I haven't, but...
At your service.
Oh. Oh.
Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity.
Oh.
Every need met. Day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace.
Oh my.
Existence fulfilled
That explains stuff.
and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation, slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged.
I wonder who
resurrected
those
legend,
are.
our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war. And so I have come to claim you.
Hello there, Matsunk.
For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
I am... Huh.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will.
Nothing endures.
What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
And he's gone.
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primates.
Of course.
If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Of course he is. Of course he is. We will get you out of there, Nidana. We will get you out. Radiant Soldier. Ah, you're returned, but where's Mistress Nidana? Well, you know, Manusia Preserve, just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. We shall. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? You would not believe what I told you. So it was from Daniel after all. Damn that bastard. No. I'm on that bastard. Sorry. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you are right to return here first. We must tread warily, lest we endanger Nidana and the other captives. We must indeed. The satrap of Razadhan. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nidana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Oh my. How to explain that? Oh, Nidana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Yes. Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidana proved at peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. Yeah. Hey, as Archimus, this is how we will help win the fight. Yeah, do as you were told. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. Ooh. Can we have one of those as well? And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razadhan for an audience with His Excellency? Gladly, give me that Aephorite. I mean, we should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant Skull grounds, and I will show you into the city. I can't believe that we're still at level 80, by the way. Like, this is still level 80 content. I have not leveled up yet. And I still have the other avenue to do, like hitting the books. I still have that to do as well. It's not like we haven't made any progress. We've done a lot. It's just that, you know... there's still so much more. This does feel longer than the Alize and Alfino phases. By the way, that is legit the difference in speed between normal mounts and the faster mount. Because right now I'm at speed 3. Because the motorbike can't go slower. So, I'm always faster than everyone else, even if they have completed the story. Well, if they have completed the story and got the riding map, we're at the same speed. But as long as I have this one, the motorbike, I will be faster. Until we all updated our speed. Of the satrap, I only know the common tidbits, that though the position is hereditary, he is not considered a sovereign, and that, despite possessing considerable authority, he wields it sparingly. Given the esteem in which the locals hold him, however, it's safe to assume he is good at his job. We could do far worse for an ally. Be it here or in Eorzea, all share in the desire to deliver the captives. Thus, united, I pray that we may join in common cause with the satrap. When I last visited, the city was brimming with life. I expect the tower has dampened the mood somewhat. All present, then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permissions, I ask that you remain close to me at all times. Yes, sir.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rads at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Yosabad, Razadhan. Only took us like 6 hours.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
It's still beautiful, by the way. I still love it, but yeah, there are not a lot of people around here.
Here we are, Megadota. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzat-Han.
Hello.
Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale.
It was indeed.
Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
You're welcome. Not everything went to plan.
assume you speak of Nidana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
Ha! Well played there.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past.
Raise the curtain. Hello, Vitra.
As you wish.
Yeah, I was wondering about that curtain.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Hi.
I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Mine elder brothers, of Midgardsormr's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Oh, you're the youngest.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat-Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
He is the satrap.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair.
Makes sense.
Next to arrive with the Aura. Adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility.
It's always the
It seemed
heroes.
all would be drowned in blood. Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict.
By killing everyone.
A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzat-Han.
Makes sense.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A farce.
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh.
Oh.
Body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Radzat-Han. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my whim.
Oh.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
That's cool.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bear his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Rats Adan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
That is true.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
How about me and 3 friends?
Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told.
That do be true.
Upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales.
That would be nice indeed.
I worry, however, that even the 4 of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
Yeah, we have 2 tanks here, that doesn't work.
No trifling tasks that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Rads at Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Not something said lightly. Okay, I think we're done with Fafnir for the time being. Ah, such a cock tease. Still not on the other side. Oh well. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zod. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the ether right here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea. Don't. No, not really. And I have attuned to all of them, thank you. Alright.